Oh, Counselor, remind me, we'll talk about juror number 98 at the break. Welcome back. So how did we do on our random acts of catering? Was it something that was acceptable, or?
Yeah.
Okay. You're being kind, I think.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Slisher, for the state.
All right. Juror number 27, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And they treated you okay at lunch?
They did.
All right. Well, I hope it wasn't so good that you fall asleep during my questioning. I needed to follow up on a couple of responses that you made regarding your prior knowledge of the case. And I think what you indicated was that you saw from the media reports that George Floyd had been arrested and following an exchange with the cops, and he was begging for his life. But you said that you don't know what happened before he was on the ground. And so I'm just wondering, in terms of your, what you're interested in learning, how would before what happened when George was on the ground affect your decision in this case?
My opinion, you mean?
What are you hoping to learn? What are you hoping to learn about what happened?
I'm hoping to learn how he got to the ground, and the one thing also that I heard from the news report was that there were multiple officers around, right? I want to know why there was only one person on him, how many were called, and and why was he arrested? I don't even know why. I think that's another. I think it's important for me to understand the fact that went into his arrest, and how he ended up dying.
Okay. So I also wanted to ask you if you know anyone, if you have a...
Closer, I'm having trouble here. I think it's
the other one.
Yeah,
is that better? Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let's try that. There. Sir, I was wondering if you have any close friends or family members or someone you care about who's ever struggled with illegal drugs.
I do not.
You do not. Do you have any opinions about people who may have used illegal drugs?
I think I think it's a hard question. I think people use illegal drugs for multiple reasons. Athletes are using it. People use it for recreational purposes. It's legal in some state. So I think, I don't think my opinion matters really, how I feel about it.
And when I'm talking about illegal drugs, maybe I'll even say drugs, not including marijuana, but harder drugs.
Oh, okay.
Do you have any strong opinions one way or the other about the use of illegal drugs?
I know that we all know the impact of opioid, and obviously, it can impact people's life, and mental health is there. So I believe that us as a society, we need to look out for people who are struggling with those. Yeah.
And how would you look out for people who are struggling with the use of illegal drugs? How would you suggest that?
supporting them, caring. I mean, you know, I'll give you one instance. You know, there is one former basketball player. I can't even remember his name. They used to play for the Dallas, the Mavericks, and struggling with drugs addiction, was found on the street by the owner, supporting him, put him in rehab, and I think those are the support that we should give them.
That's something that you would agree with?
Correct.
Okay. You said in your questionnaire that you believe that the police in your community make you feel safe. Like you said, you strongly agree that the police in your community make you feel safe. Can you tell us why they make you feel safe in your community?
Well, I think in my community, I think when there is a suspicious activity, the police will stop by, they will ask a question, and I think that sense of security is all we want, right? We want to live in a community where we feel safe, and regardless of race, color, and gender, and so yeah, I think that's the basic reason why I say that they make me feel safe. Yeah.
Okay. And have you or a close friend or family member within your current community, the community you're living now, have you had to call upon the police in your community to have them?
No.
No? Okay.
But I mean, I would say this. Personally, I have not, but I've seen, at least my neighborhood, I've seen the cops stop by and check up on them and a few times, and so I don't have any reason to believe that my community is unsafe.
Okay.
That's what I should probably say.
Sounds like you live in a pretty safe community.
I mean, for now.
All right. You also stated in the questionnaire that you strongly disagree with the concept of defunding the police. Can you explain that answer a little bit more thoroughly?
Yeah, I mean, I think some of those statements sometimes can be seen political. I mean, I think everybody has their reason, and I believe, in my opinion, that while I necessarily might not agree with the police action in some situation, I believe that in order for me to make for the police to make my community safe, they have to have the right.
They have to have the funds to.
Yeah. So, okay. And I think that I can understand why people say, "Well, defund the police," because they are upset about things that are happening, and I sympathize with that. But at the same time, if we want the police to support our community, that's my opinion. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Do you believe that you would be able to evaluate the testimony of a police officer in the same way you could evaluate testimony of, say, a bystander?
I believe so.
Okay. You would have no reason to favor one person's testimony over the other?
No.
Okay. I'm interested, again, not in the specific location of your job, but just tell me what do you do? What is a day like for you? When they say IT, I have a hard time conceptualizing that.
Yeah, I think earlier we were talking about me being people's manager. So I mean, I would say it's a technical leadership role, right? When I have a team of engineers that report to me, their role is to enable our business and allow them to build application in the cloud securely, and to add value to our customers. Mm-hmm. And so, as a manager, I make sure that my team is highly performing. They are, building solution for the business. They and also making sure that I'm helping them grow personally and professionally. It's not just about them coming to work for me or for the company, but also making sure that, well, their career path also is very important, and we want to see them succeed, whether it's with the current company or moving to another company, and also show empathy to them, right? I think those things are important, because people come to work in today's, with COVID and people are working remote. You want to engage with your team and ensure that, well, whether they are going through personal stuff or you want to show some sort of empathy and make sure that you can relate to them. And so my role is not just managing them, but it's also, I always said this to my team, that I'm serving them, right? So I think that's my role.
It sounds like you're working more with people than machines. So when I think of IT, I think of the computers, and I was not understanding so much the technical aspect of your job, because I thought it said that you were in IT security. Is that right?
It's well, DevOps and cloud and security. So being in IT doesn't mean that I have to be on with computer all the time, but it's about, in my role, it's about creating solution that solve problem, right? Mm-hmm. So the person who made Zoom, it's not just about being on some computer and creating Zoom, but it's about thinking about what kind of collaboration tool I can provide to people to help them collaborate and be in the courtroom. So that's the type of role that I have. So I have a team of engineers that work for me. We develop application and in the cloud, and enable our R&D, research and development team, to build application that not only reside on prem but also in the cloud, and make sure that these applications are secure. That's where the security part comes in place, right? That includes identity access management and security assessment and security audit and all this stuff, and as well as making. So that's the technical side, and the other part is the people's manager side.
Mm-hmm. I noticed at the time that you answered your questionnaire, you said that you were off social media. Is that right? I
am.
Yeah. And so with your IT and IT security background, I was just wondering if you could tell us why you're not on social media.
It's a personal decision. I mean, I mean, everybody have the right to be on social media or not. I mean, there is a lot of things that are going on social media. I closed my Facebook account. I don't even remember, maybe almost 10 years ago. So I mean, it comes down to me being someone who likes security. I think for me it's more about ensuring that my personal information are secure. I'll give you one example. I closed my Facebook account, like I said, almost 10 years ago, I believe. And there was one day, a couple of years ago, I tried to see if I can log back into it. Somebody used my name, have a different picture there, same first name, same last name, same email. That's the reason right there.
I think I understand. If you would give me a moment, Your Honor. Yeah. One more line of follow-up questions. You'd indicated in your survey that you believe that, or you somewhat agree with the proposition that maybe accounts of police brutality are maybe overstated in the media. You remember answering that question?
I don't remember. Can you give me a recollection, please?
So the question was whether or not you agree. I think that news reports about police brutality against racial minorities is only the tip of the iceberg. And you indicated that you somewhat disagree with that proposition. Do you recall that?
Well, I don't recall. But, well, I'll say this. I think. Can you restate that question again?
Sure. You know, and I think the point of the question is whether or not you have any views that would suggest that that the media exaggerates the amount of police brutality that may be out in society.
I don't believe the media was doing that, but I do believe that sometimes things that we see in the media is that well, people. I remember when when this thing started. There were people from my church, for instance, that were going there, praying, giving food. That side of it was not showing, was not getting the coverage. So that's what I was trying to say. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds like what you were pointing out is that what you see on the media oftentimes is the bad news and maybe not the good news?
Sometimes, yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I have no further questions. Thank you very much for
Thank
your
you.
answers and candor today.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. And we would pass for cause.
Right. Juror 27, you will serve on this jury. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is return to this courtroom, or the deputies will escort you to the other courtroom, 9 o'clock on March 29th.
Okay.
Now, having said that, we will probably give you a reminder in case things change as far as timing. But we're pretty confident in that date and time. But we'll give you a reminder in any case. You have a letter with you that got you into the building?
I do.
Please keep that letter. Keep it safe and make sure you... The deputy will collect the yellow lanyard from you when you leave today.
Okay.
You'll be reissued it when you come back.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions?
No.
Final reminder, you're not an investigator, you're not to read media. Certainly don't watch these proceedings preceding March 29th.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank
You can go with the deputy. Before we wait for the next juror, Juror 98's questionnaire was completely blank. It turns out this is a juror who is over 80 years old. And so the first thing we are going to do is reach out to the juror and see if they wish to exercise their right under the rules, since they are 70 or older, to be excused from jury duty. If they do not exercise that, I'd ask if the parties want to make it easy, or we can bring her in, give her the questionnaire when she comes next time. So let's see what the first answer is, and then we'll go with the second.